Within Business Hub, we have the processing section. This is where we do all of the actual production. Now, here in the overview, we can look at the status of all of the orders. And when it comes to the status, it's very important to understand the difference between an order status and a production status. The order statuses are listed above. First, have payment terms been met? Typically, that has to happen in order for us to start working on a job. The first step of a job is either we've got to go pull the blanks or we need to order them. We need to get our hands on whatever we are going to be selling to the customer. So we're going to tell ourselves we need to raise a purchase order for these blank products. Once we've done that and then the blanks arrive, we're going to account for receiving them. It doesn't do us much good to account just for ordering them. We have to know when they arrive, and that's by receiving the goods. While we are ordering and receiving, we are typically simultaneously getting the artwork ready. The artwork is going to go into the artwork approvals section where the art department is going to vectorize, digitize, or just look at the artwork before we send it to the production staff to begin. So we order, we receive, or we just bypass this and pull off the shelf. We get the artwork ready if necessary. Once all those are complete, we can begin production. Once the order's been produced, then we can ship it or let the customer know, hey, come pick it up. Now, again, those are all order statuses. They are the same no matter what the decoration method is. Now, we also have something called a production status. A production status breaks down a production process into steps, and these are 100% customizable. Within the admin of DecoNetwork settings, we can configure these production statuses and choose what their order is, because it is an order from one step to the next, and which decoration processes it applies to. So screen printing, for example, maybe the first step is screens need developed or artwork needs ready. Once we've gotten the artwork ready and we've decided this is the mesh count and so forth we're going to use, we're going to update it to screens need developed. The darkroom guys, they're developing the screens. Once they've developed the screens, they're going to update the status to screens ready for press. So production status allows us to get a better idea of where the job is at in the production process and allows everybody to kind of know what's on deck, what's in the hole, what's up to bat right now, and just keep everybody well organized. So here in the overview, again, this is where we can see all of the orders, but it's not really where we spend the bulk of our time. And where we spend our time really comes down to our role. If I am just in charge of purchasing, raising purchase orders, I'm going to be here in the purchase order section. This is where we're going to raise purchase orders, essentially buy the blanks we need, and then account for when they arrive by receiving the stock of that purchase order. If I'm the art department and I'm in charge of vectorizing, digitizing, or just making sure that the production file is good for production, I'm going to come into artwork approvals. This is where we can go into the job. So the artwork that came in this example, I uploaded the normal DecoNetwork logo, turned it all white. This is what was uploaded. This is the final version. I would download this, make sure it's a nice clean vector. If it's not, I'd get it prepped, uploaded here. It'll replace it on the products and be saved to the customer's profile. And then the actual production section. So when it comes to looking at all these orders, there's really two methods you can. Here in the production, it's essentially a list view. And orders are in one of three lists, really. Completed orders. It's about as simple as it gets. Awaiting production and not ready for production. Look at it as they're different queues. And these queues can be changed based on the admin settings that you configure. But how it typically works with the standard settings, not ready for production means either the artwork is not ready, our department has not signed off, and or we have not ordered and received the blanks. You can't print or decorate what you don't have. You can't decorate artwork that's not ready. So both of those things have to be ready. And if they both are, then we're in awaiting production. That means we physically can be knocking this job out. The artwork's ready, the blank product's on hand, we can be on press or on the embroidery machine decorating in theory. So the production view, again, is the list. You have different queues. You also have a calendar view. A calendar view, just like the production, you can filter based on status, process, staff member. I can look at it in a week view, day view, month view, calendar and production, just two different ways of looking at the same information. When you go into an order, you can view the artwork. You can update the production status. You can download the production worksheet. This is typically what you want to print off after ordering the blanks from the supplier. So when the blank product arrives, everything stays nice and organized. So let's go over these steps. Order comes in. Here an overview. I need to order the blanks. How are we going to do that? We need to raise a purchase order with the supplier. Well, if I come here to production or purchase orders, if I create a purchase order here, it's for everything I need to buy from that supplier for all my open orders. So it's not just for these goods for this one order that we're worried about. It's for everything I need. The goal is to get to free shipping. So what do we typically do? We consolidate our orders together and raise one purchase order that's typically over $200 if I'm trying to get to free shipping. Now, when it comes to suppliers like S&S, Sanmar, and several UK and Canada suppliers, we have live inventory and smart purchase ordering. Smart PO integration. What that means is we can order the blanks with the click of a button here. They are not automatically ordered just when an order comes in. We are going to say, I want to order them. Obviously, you don't want to pay for shipping. So this allows us to make sure, yes, this number's over $200. We are ready to order these shirts. So another way of raising a purchase order, just so you realize, if I don't want to consolidate all orders together, I can go into an individual order and I can raise a purchase order from within there. And that'll be for just the blanks for that order. At this first step, I can choose if I want to add additional products. Most of the time, I'm just going to order what I need. So all I'm going to do is click Save. This is everything that the software tells me I need based on everything that was ordered recently since the last time I raised this purchase order with the supplier. And once I'm here, I can either download the PDF. So I can download the list of everything I need to order and key it into the supplier. Or I could come to send purchase order and I could potentially email it to my supplier and have a sales rep key it in. Or if you've enabled the smart purchase order integration, like I have here, if I were to click send, these $3,700 worth of shirts are ordered. That is the equivalent of checking out on that supplier's site. This is a great tool, not only for speeding up ordering, but especially for just reducing the mistakes of ordering. It's easy to order the wrong size, the wrong color, and you delay production a couple of days. So this integration to set it up, not every supplier supports it, but you need to go into the admin, products, supplier account details, and right here you'll know if the supplier supports the live inventory and smart purchase order integration. Each supplier configures it differently as far as the API. Okay, so that accounts for ordering the blanks. And if we look here in overview, blanks have been ordered for all of these orders because I needed to get it not for just this one, for a lot. When the shirts arrive, we'll account for receiving them, but we're not going to just sit on our hands while we wait for them. The art department is going to be getting things done. So art department's going to come into artwork approvals. They're going to click on the job like this. Artwork that was uploaded, final color scheme, download that, upload the final, vector, digitize, whatever version. You can then choose to send to the customer. They'll get a link to log into their account, view the proof, and approve or reject it. What is most common? If it's print going from a bitmap to a vector, I will bypass the customer. I'll mark it as approved. That's the art department saying, we're good to go. Start making screens. Or if it's like embroidery, I like to do a test sew, send it to the customer, get their approval. And once they've signed off on it, now we're ready to move into production. But by marking it as approved, like I did, the art department has said we are good. We are still not ready for production. Because we're still not ready, we are in the not ready for production section. You're going to see when we go from not ready into awaiting production, it is going to be all the same stuff. When you go into an order, you can download the artwork, you can download the production sheet, you can update the production status. It's just two different queues, and that's what you got to keep in mind. Now, a good tip I have for you is to download your supplier, download your production worksheets based on the supplier's purchase order. So at the top here, you have all these different columns you can sort by. It's important to set this up for each staff member on your team, and then it'll save every time they log in. But if I'm in the screen department, I don't care about embroidery orders typically. So all I care about is show me all my screen print orders, or show me all the screen print orders in which the artwork needs, the screens need developed. So I can sort and filter based on all these different variables. One variable, though, I don't currently see, and I may just have to turn on, is the supplier purchase order number. So make sure each person logged in has the correct columns to make their life easier. And then it's just a filter. So what I would do is I would download all the production worksheets that go to the same purchase order. So in this example, our purchase order number is 184384. So I'm going to download this or copy it. And within production, we'll put it right here. I can then grab all of the line items, all of the orders that are tied to this supplier purchase order. And by selecting them all, I can now download selected worksheets as one PDF. What that's going to allow me to do is to print off all of the order worksheets at one time and essentially have a stack of worksheets that correspond to the blank box of shirts that arrive. It allows us to match everything up as efficiently as possible. It is a really good idea to get in the habit of downloading the production worksheets based on the supplier's purchase order number. It's just a great way to keep yourself organized. And again, the production worksheet is going to contain everything the production staff needs to know. These are the colors we are using. This is the size. This is the location. These are the products that the customer purchased. So once you've downloaded it, print it off, it'll be very clear. You know, this order, we have 15 small, 15 mediums. This is the color, the location. Same with this one. Every order, if you have this worksheet, it'll all keep everything organized until we ship or the customer comes to pick up the order. Once the goods arrive, we will come back into purchase orders. We will find that purchase order, we'll click receive stock, and we will account for everything that comes in. Check in what comes in. If you're short, if if we're still waiting on something from a different warehouse, you want to account for that. But if everything did arrive, account for it, click save, by receiving that purchase order, and if the artwork is marked as approved, was ready, like our current order, it'll move from not ready into awaiting production. We physically have the goods. The artwork is ready. The art department said it was. We now can theoretically knock the job out on press or be making the screens and so forth. So if we go into the job, again, can download the artwork, the production worksheet, update the production status. The only thing that's different here is that I can record waste. So if we start making mistakes, I can record waste, and then it triggers another purchase order to replenish that waste. Once production has begun as well, you can select over here and apply updates. Now, I could have done this at not ready for production as well. I can assign an order to a team member. I could assign it to a specific piece of equipment. Using staff accounts, same thing. You can have customer or staff profiles, or you could have equipment profiles by going into the admin staff accounts. You can update the production status. So again, if I wanted to update this to say, okay, we're on press, we're ready to start setting up, I can. If I want to bulk download, if I want to set the production date, or if I simply just want to mark as production complete, we can mark these orders as complete. They will then move into the shipping section, or if we're linked with ShipStation, they can move their way over to ShipStation as well, where we can buy and print the label. When we do so, the customer's automatically marked or sent the email with the tracking. The order is automatically marked as complete in Deco, and the tracking is stored in the history notes. Every step that we take from quote to order, it is being stored in the history notes so we can see who did what. We can view payments that were made. We can apply a payment. We can add a refund. We can view the production status, payment breakdown, communication. If we need to reach out to the customer about a question, we can add note for customer and send them an email, even attach a file. When it comes to processing orders in Business Hub, it takes some practice. The more you do it, the more it makes sense. A good tip for you as well, depending on your shop size, you may want to create different staff roles so that you limit different sections of Business Hub so it keeps it simple and nobody can do any harm by accident. If you have any questions on how to process orders or anything else about using DecoNetwork software, come up to the top of the page, click on the search, and you'll find many great help articles and help videos. If they don't do the trick, click on the question mark icon and raise a support ticket with Client Services, who is always available to help you whenever you need. Thank you.